Lily is 6 years old. Jack is, well, he's going to be 5 years old this month.
Belynda Gray can barely speak through the tears, describing the children she hasn't seen in years.
The last time they were here, they were still basically babies. Lily was 4. She was such a carbon copy of me. She copied everything I did. And Jack was more sober. He was just crawling around the floor, learning to walk.
It's been 2 years since Gray last held Jack and Lily Sullivan, and months since anyone has seen them at all.
Your grandchildren are what you leave this world. They're a part of you.
When Lily and Jack went missing, Gray says she joined the search herself.
We started working our way up through the woods along a brook. And then we crossed over the brook. And we started coming back down through the woods.
For Gray, hope quickly turned to suspicion, especially after their mother left the area.
When I found out Malaya left, I knew there was no sense searching anymore. It started making me think, I don't think these babies wandered off.
She hopes police can bring her closer to the truth.
I hold them all accountable. I don't know how 2 kids can go missing.
RCMP say they combed through every possible lead, but Gray feels police could have acted faster.
I don't care what the criteria is for an Amber Alert. When you have vulnerable children missing, it should be an automatic alert.
Every day, Gray checks her phone, hoping for a message, a post, a headline, anything saying they've been found.
To see if there's any new family members coming out speaking. And that's off and on all day. That goes on right up till I go to bed.
Along the 40-kilometer stretch in Lansdowne Station where 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan lived, cadaver dogs searched the woods and trails just a few weeks ago. RCMP say they came up empty-handed, but families say they're still holding out hope the children will be found soon. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Upper Musquodoboit.
Belynda Gray, and what's your connection to this story?
Well, my name's Belynda Gray, and I am Lily and Jack Sullivan's grandmother on the biological father's side.
And the family tree and the connections are all important in this. So you are Jack and Lily's biological father's mother. They're
Coach Sullivan's mother, yes.
Before we start, can you just talk a little bit about what it means to you to have the community rallying behind all the families and everyone involved in this? Like, how important has it been for you to see people interested in finding Jack and Lily?
It's extremely important. Right now, the only thing we actually have is the public. That it's so hard when you have to rely on just updates from the RCMP, and they're so few and far between. But the more we put their names out there, more and more people are coming forward. Everybody's talking about them. And it's keeping pressure to keep this going till we get answers.
Mm-hmm. And now the dynamics within the family must make it unusual in terms of your access to information. Like, have you been able to actually sit with investigators and ask questions yourself?
No, I have not.
No. Okay.
It's really sad. I had no idea. I had no idea that really grandparents, unless you go to court and fight for those rights, that grandparents don't have many rights.
And especially, like, as I said, like, given the family dynamics and the fact that that your son hasn't been in the children's lives for the last several years, that would make it even more difficult. But that doesn't change the fact that you're their grandmother and
right.
You have a relationship and a history with them. Can you maybe talk just a little bit about your time with Jack and Lily, and and what life was like when they were a bigger part of yours?
We had a very close relationship. We were at the hospital when Lily was born. We got to hold her. We were at the hospital when Jack was born. And we had a good, close relationship. It remained close for almost the whole first year after Malaya and my son split up, that we still maintained a close relationship. And then it started to pewter off quietly, and I knew she wanted to move on with her life, and I was all for that. I felt she deserved to be happy. But I didn't think it was going to take the turn that it did, that we were going to be completely shut off. I thought once she was settled for a bit that it would pick back up again, but I wanted to give her that space.
And what you're referring to is when her and your son Cody split up. From that point on, my understanding was you still did see the children on occasion, or is that not right? Like,
No, she used to come. She used to bring the kids every couple of weeks for a visit.
with you or with Cody or both?
No, with me and my partner and other relatives that I might have here at the time. No, Cody was not living here at the time, so Cody did not play a part in their lives at all after the breakup.
But there was still an effort to maintain the relationship with their mother, their grandmother, Belynda, of course. And when did that change? Like, when did you start to see it turn to,
And she told me she had met Daniel, and she stated what a great guy he was, that he was divorced, he had 2 children, and she felt that this was the one that she was pretty happy. So we were thrilled for her. And I'm assuming it was up until 6 months after she was with him. She still come for visits, but they weren't as frequent. And she was telling us that he was uncomfortable with her coming here.
Okay.
So we invited him to come. He just never did. So then when she stopped coming, we call her and say, look, we come to the grandmother's, to Patty's place. And if that works better, then that's what we'll do. So then we started visiting at Patty's place.
And Patty's Malaya's mom.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, no, Patty is Malaya's grandmother.
Malaya's great, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be so hard. I just I know I think I've said this to you before in a conversation we had, but for me, like the relationship with a grandparent is like such a special one. Growing up myself, my grandmother and grandfather had a huge part in raising me. So I've always saw like the relationship with a grandparent as a sacred one. And I feel like there's no one in the world who loves someone the way their grandparents love them, even more so than parents. But
it is such a beautiful feeling that it's really hard to describe, because as a parent, you're worried about raising your kids. You're worried about teaching them the right and wrongs. And there's that steady pressure until they get out on their own.
Yeah.
As a grandparent, you just feel the love, just the love.
Absolutely. Now, the reason we're connecting today is I wanted to ask you a few questions about what I'm referring to as the civilian search that
BMH, yes.
Yeah, standing for Please Bring Me Home. And they did a ground search in Lansdowne Station for Jack and Lily, and you took part in it. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about it. So first off, when you heard that there was a civil, like this volunteer organization conducting a search as opposed to search and rescue or the RCMP or whatnot, what was your initial thoughts hearing that this was going to be happening?
I had contacted PBMH back in, I think it was July when I had first, and I went on their website and you fill out a form, you explain the whole situation, and I waited for them to get back to me. It wasn't until, I believe, the end of August I reached out again to them, and that time they did respond and stated that they were interested and that they would be in touch. And then I was in touch with the person that was leading that investigation at the time, was Chrissy. She's their investigator. So I did an intake with her describing everything from my perspective, what I knew. So Malaya's family was on board with the PBMH group too. So then it was decided that they would do a search.
Okay. So I before right now, I didn't realize it was you that actually put all of this in motion.
Yes, yes.
And so what they ended up doing was first they put a call out for interest saying, if anyone wants to get involved in this search, sign up here and here's when we're going to do it and we're going to show up. You were one of the people that went on the search. So what was it actually like? Like, what was the turnout? What did you do? Maybe talk us through the day of searching for Jack and Lily.
Okay, we had about anywhere between 27 to 30 searchers. They were in teams of 6. Now, I was not there to be on those search teams because I knew my knees would not allow me to go through the woods.
Of course.
So I was there for the updates, if anything was found, for the moral support. I had family searchers there also. And there was a couple of places that my sister and I were also interested in driving to check out.
Okay. Yeah, and so the 27 to 30ish people that showed up, like, who were these people? Were they just community members, or was it members of the families? Like, who on average, or like in general, who was
I
there?
would say, on general, almost half of the search team was family members. The few from my side and the remainder from Malaya's side.
Okay.
The rest were volunteers. We had volunteers that come from PEI, from New Brunswick,
Wow.
from the South Shore, and then Nick's team itself from Ontario and who he brought with him.
And Nick is the leader of the organization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you aware of any kind of discoveries or any kind of interesting or amazing moments or anything you can share like that during the search? Like, were there any like exciting points of it that you thought like, wow?
There were a few items that were found. It's been kind of put out. There was another item that was found. My sister and I had found it. And that one we're not discussing because we don't know if it's relevant yet with the police. That is still being considered if it plays a part in anything. So we're not putting that information out there about that item. The stuff that was found by Nick's teams, because there was, like I said, there were 6 teams, and 2 or 3 of those teams had found certain items.
And those items were then shared with investigators, with the RCMP.
Yes.
And they did respond, the RCMP, with saying that the stuff that was found they didn't believe it to be
were not of interest. Yes.
Yeah. And how did that make you feel? Like, were you?
I was disappointed. There were a couple of items that just by a picture alone being shown to the mother to see if it was recognizable to her. It did bother me. I will say that, well, to me, in my view, I would have just picked it up just in case. I wouldn't go by, it's so hard to say it without just outright pointing fingers, but to me, there were adults on that property where 2 kids went missing. So why are we depending on those adults to be the ones to determine whether something is important?
That's a really good point. In the end, as far as moving the investigation forward, it doesn't seem like this search was what was going to break the case open. But yourself, as someone who's watching closely of every twist and turn in this, how does it feel at this point now? Like, do you feel like this is going to go on forever?
It is feeling like that. It's been feeling like that for a while, but you still hope that any little search that anybody does, that maybe they can find something that would help to open this up more, to give us more answers. So I am still, I'm hoping PBMH will come back out again. They don't plan on coming till spring. So I'm hoping the hunters that are out there, any of the ATV trails that the ATV people, the clubs and that use, I'm hoping everybody will just kind of keep their eyes open and pay attention to anything that stands out. Because I think the answers are there. We just need to find them.
One thing I've noticed, just as someone watching this story from the outside, is in the early days, weeks, and even months, there was a lot more like mainstream news coverage. There was it seemed like every couple of days there was something new out. But it really seems like it's slowed down over the last month or so. Luckily, what this search did was really brought Jack and Lily's names and faces back in the news. But aside from that, it's been a lot more quiet. Does that scare you as someone so close to this, like to go weeks without even news coverage?
Scare is not even the word to describe it because you just don't want it to go quiet. I want everybody. I want everybody to keep talking about this, to keep wondering, to keep asking questions. I want more volunteers that are willing to go out on their own or join a group and get together and look, let's do something for a weekend. Let's just go out and walk some trails because it's a big area and it's hard for anybody to cover because the area is so big. And I would like to see more searches taking place outside of the original search area.